Hi, this is Al Silver again with an article from bankbuzzreport.com, which is a great website that talks about what's going on with world banks. And this article is talking about the EU and Eurogroup President Joran Dijsselbloem as being modern robber barons. As you know, the events of Cyprus were very chaotic last month in March. A bunch of people had money taken out of their accounts. Like, for instance, this woman here, this poor woman says they stole our money. And basically, this guy, Joran Dijsselbloem, and his cohorts are engineering this bank robbery, but they're no better than common criminals, according to this article. Mr. Dijsselbloem, who's the head of the Eurozone, he made this incredible statement. He said a levy on the wealth is defendable in principle. Basically, he's saying that successful nation states can't any longer take money from their treasuries to support unsuccessful nation states and their banks. However, if we stop supporting them, he says, they go back to using their old currencies, and that would cause the European community and the euro to fail. So basically, he's also saying they found a solution, and that solution is to steal money from people's accounts and use that money to bail out the failed nation states and their banks, and simply make an argument that it's defendable. To force Cyprus to steal customers' funds, we will blackmail the government with the threat of pulling the central bank liquidity plug, which would crash the country and their banks and force them out of the Eurozone. They will then fold like a cheap suit. So this is exactly what Mr. Dijsselbloem and his criminal gang are saying and doing. Now, for him to state that taking money from customer accounts to pay for the debts of others is defendable is like saying a bank robber saying the following at his criminal trial after getting caught for bank robbery. Your Honor, my name's Mr. Debit, and I'm in debt and I can't pay my bills. Therefore, I took Mr. Dijsselbloem's advice and simply robbed the bank just like they did so I can pay my bills. According to Mr. Dijsselbloem, that's defendable. That's a defendable action to take when they cannot pay their bills. So I asked the court to find me not guilty of bank robbery based on the new Dijsselbloem policy. Now, what do you think the judge would say to a bank robber that used that as a defense? He would say, not guilty? I don't think so. More likely, the judge would apply the law and say guilty as charged, then order the robber to repay the theft back with interest, and sentence him to jail. Also order him to receive psychiatric treatment in prison. But that's what exactly Mr. Dijsselbloem and his criminal gang should get. I mean, these people in Cyprus literally had their money stolen out of their bank accounts. So this is just another article from BankBuzz Report, folks. Here's another statement Mr. Dijsselbloem made. The lack of market contagion surrounding Cyprus showed that private investors could now be hit to pay for bad banking debts. Think about what the head of the Eurozone is saying there. What does he mean by lack of contagion? That is bank speak for depositors are not reacting too negatively and rioting about the bank robbery in Cyprus. Is this guy just totally nuts, or is he working at it? If he thinks that the Euro organized crime families can just steal people's money from depositors' accounts without a huge negative backlash, then they are in self-delusion and living in a fantasy world. Here's a poll recently taken in Germany. According to this Stern poll, 50% of Germans are now concerned about their bank deposits, and only about 41% believe Angela Merkel's guarantee that their holdings are safe. This is a dramatic shift from a couple of weeks ago before the Cyprus banking incident with a banking heist. Here's the reality, Mr. Dijsselbloem. The criminal actions by yourself and the EU and your twisted criminal thinking that you are justified in stealing depositors' funds is having a huge negative effect on people's perception of the safety of their money and the legitimacy of Western governments. I mean, even communist governments haven't tried this kind of bank heist in recent years, and you would have to go back to Nazi Germany and Eastern Europe under Stalin to find similar instances. State of Texas, for instance, is now demanding that $1 billion in gold that the Fed is holding for them in New York be sent to Texas. They no longer have confidence in the paper certificates, and they cite the events in Cyprus for their actions. So it's like the genie is out of the bottle now, and how can you unring a bell? The damage has been done, and people will start doing what they think they need to do to protect their money. They'll start taking money out of their EU bank accounts and start putting it in non-EU bank accounts. And this writer of the article predicts that Switzerland, Denmark, the UK, and the US, and other non-EU banks will see a huge increase in deposits from EU banks. So there you have it, folks. We have a lot of non-confidence in banks all over the world, but especially the EU banks now. And Bank Buzz is recommending that if you have monies in an EU bank account, while you still can, you should take it out. I'll hear this guy saying bury it in your backyard or stow it away somewhere if you can't find another banking alternative. But the EU banks are getting ready to implode due to the fact that they are being run by criminal gangs, and at this point they can't be saved for very much longer. So keep this in mind, folks, and again, please check out bankbuzzreport.com. It's a great website. There are a lot of good articles, especially articles about one particular bank, CIC Bank in Switzerland, which has actually stolen customers' money. And I'm very interested in this topic because I myself had an instance where some money was taken out of my account, but luckily I was able to get it back because I was dealing with a reputable bank. But a lot of banks won't even reimburse a customer after the funds have been stolen by hackers, for instance. And that was what happened with one particular customer, or a bunch of different customers at CIC Bank. So please check out the website and look for more videos coming soon. Thanks and goodbye.